Good morning, everyone. It's 5:40 a.m. and typically my routine in the mornings when I work is that I get up at 4:40 in the morning and I do my Bible reading and my prayer, and then I'll get ready for work. As you can tell, I am not ready for work looking at this hair. So this morning my alarm went off and at 4:40, and I was so tired. I could not get my eyes open, nothing. And I was like, God, I don't know what to do. And I just heard him tell me rest. So I laid there praying for, I guess it would have been 20 minutes because then my 5 o'clock alarm went off. And I said, okay, I got to get up and I got to get dressed now. And I got to do my Bible reading and all of that. So I've been doing this Bible study of Gideon. And it was talking about how he had 2,300 men or 23,000. I can't remember the exact number. Anyways, God told him that he had too many men to fight the battle because he wanted Israel to know that the victory was the Lord's and not on their own strength. So he took it down to into the hundreds. And, we see where Gideon put out the fleece on the floor and asked God for an answer when he was in distress. So I'm doing my Bible listening and just doing that, going through it, trying to drink coffee and wake up. And then I started getting some text messages from friends who have been really struggling this week and just in general. And, I just started praying for them and with them. And there's been times where my morning routine, when it's messed up, I would get so almost angry over. Like if Corey wakes up early and decides he's going to come out here and do his Bible study and stuff with me, and then he's being too loud, I would feel angry and stuff. But this morning, God has just been speaking to me and saying, look, the time that you devote for me, it is precious, but sometimes you've got to rearrange your schedule and to help others. So this morning, I was just praying with a friend, and I just started bawling while I was praying. And God was like, when you're interceding on behalf of others, that's precious to me too. And that's not wasted time. And that's not you getting away from the time that you're giving to me. That's you doing something for me and on my behalf and for others. And I can be such a stickler for schedules and different things in my life. And God's just like, you've just got to let me have control. You don't have to be in control all the time. You don't have to know all the answers. I'm going to hold you. I'm going to carry you. And I'm going to make it work. And I'm thinking, okay, God. So, I've got to let you have the control. And I've got to give the rest to you. Last night when I was praying too, God told me get on your face and just soak in my presence, rest in me. So when Corey got home from work, I had a blanket on the floor in the living room and I was laying down just praying. And he was like, why are you on the floor? You didn't fall. Do you need help up? And then I'm like, okay, I got to get up now because everything hurts. I'm getting older. I can't just be on the floor and not hurt. But I'm finding that rest in God and relying on God. It's not our own strength, and that's the whole reason that God gave us the Sabbath, was because he knew our human bodies needed rest. He knew we had to have rest. I mean, even God, who is Elohim, the almighty creative judge and creator, took a day of rest. And he's all supreme. So how much more do our mortal human bodies need that? And are we taking the time that we need for that too? Because honestly, I don't. I mean, I feel like if I'm not being productive all the time, then I can't relax because I've got a constant to-do list running through my mind. So, I'm in this season of learning what real rest is and relying on God for that rest. And it's just like, because it's going against everything that my body is telling me. And it's like, no, my spirit says I need this instead. And what am I going to listen to? My body or my spirit and what God's saying? And it's like, okay, I've got to take it into authority, and I've got to say, no, God says that we need to do this, and we're going to do it this way. And it's just like when we're fasting, we're calling our bodies into submission and saying, no, I'm going to not do this for a certain amount of time and give the glory and the praise and the honor to God. And I'm going to bring this into submission under the word and the will of God. And it's like, I've got to do that with rest as well. And I know there are so many other people who are dealing with these things too. And it's hard to take the time to rest and to just get reset and refilled. It is so hard. And, Saturday, Corey was talking about the need for your personal time with God, and that's part of your Sabbath and your rest and being refilled in God. Because if you're not getting that daily fill up of God, then you're just going to be running on empty all week while you're waiting for church. And it's just that mental picture of if you go all day without eating and you're not fasting, you're just busy and you neglect your body and you go all day without eating, you run out of energy. And if you're going all day without praying and giving that time to God, you're going to run out of energy and strength too. So focus on God and what you need from Him.